Have you ever looked in the mirror and noticed one of those tiny bright red spots that seem to appear out of nowhere? Maybe you have one, maybe you have 20, maybe every birthday seems to come with another one. Then you start wondering, is it dangerous? Can I pop it? Can I freeze it off? Could I put Afrin on it since Afrin shrinks blood vessels? Believe it or not, people have actually wondered exactly that. Today we're going to answer all of those questions, explain what those tiny little red spots really are, sometimes they're not so tiny, talk about how we remove them in the dermatology office, and I'll explain why one medication that sounds like it should work might not be the answer. Welcome, friend. I'm Beth, a dermatology physician assistant with more than 25 years of experience helping patients with skin concerns just like these. If you enjoy learning the science behind skincare without all the hype, you're in the right place. Near the end, I'll also explain why one over-the-counter and one prescription topical medication may or may not work. The answer is pretty fascinating. What are cherry angiomas? Let's clear up some terminology. Many adults call these little red spots cherry angiomas, or cherries, sometimes called Campbell de Morgan spots. They're one of the most common benign growths we see in dermatology. Think of them as tiny tangles of extra blood vessels that decided to build a little neighborhood in your skin. Normally, your blood vessels are organized like neat streets in a city. A cherry angioma is more like somebody dumped a bowl of red spaghetti into one tiny area. Those extra vessels fill with blood, which is why they're bright red. Why do people get them? This is one of the questions I hear almost every day. The honest answer is we don't know exactly. Genetics probably play the biggest role. If your parents had lots of cherry angiomas, you may develop them too. Age is another factor. They're uncommon in children, but become much more common as we get older. Some people develop dozens, others develop hundreds. Pregnancy and hormone changes can also contribute in some people. Are they cancer? This is probably the biggest fear. Fortunately, true cherry angiomas are benign. They're not skin cancer. They also don't turn into skin cancer. Now that's different from saying every red spot is harmless, but there's a type of melanoma that can mimic these spots. Usually that would be a little more purple in color. And also there's a type of lesion called pyogenic granuloma, which is a blood vessel going even crazier. So if you aren't sure about a spot, best to get it checked. If a red lesion is rapidly changing, repeatedly bleeding without injury, developing an unusual appearance, or you're simply not sure what it is, it should be evaluated by your dermatology provider. So not every red bump is a cherry angioma. Can you squeeze them? Please don't. Remember that bowl of spaghetti? Imagine squeezing a tiny bag filled with little blood vessels. It doesn't solve the problem. Instead, you may simply make it bleed. Sometimes patients are surprised how much these tiny spots can bleed. That's because they're made of blood vessels. How do we remove them in the office? Fortunately, they're usually very easy to treat. If they're very tiny, I often use liquid nitrogen. The freezing destroys the abnormal tissue and many small lesions resolve nicely. If they're a little larger, my favorite treatment is usually electrocautery. After numbing the area, if needed, we use a very small electrical current to destroy the abnormal blood vessels. It's quick, precise, and heals very well in most patients. I've honestly never used sclerotherapy for these, but it can be done. According to a study, intralesional injection of 3% sodium tetradecyl sulfate was effective in a prospective study of 100 lesions. 42% responded after a single injection, with most requiring 2 to 3 sessions. Radiofrequency ablation has also been reported as an effective alternative. And shave excision can be performed, but is generally less favored due to cosmetic concerns for scarring. Our esthetician also treats many cherry angiomas with a vascular laser. This laser specifically targets the red color inside the blood vessels. Think of it as a heat-seeking missile. Instead of damaging all the surrounding tissue, it's attracted to the red pigment inside the blood. The energy heats those tiny vessels until they collapse while minimizing injury to nearby skin. That's why vascular lasers can be so effective for these lesions. Various laser therapies include pulse dye laser. That is preferred among laser options due to less procedure-related pain compared to other lasers. A study confirmed cherry angiomas showed the most significant treatment response among vascular lesions with pulse dye laser, generating slightly better results than ND-YAG for superficial lesions. However, PDL carries a risk of pigmentary change in darker-skinned individuals. ND-YAG laser produced fewer pigmentary complications than PDL or KTP, making it a better option for patients with darker skin tones. Good results were reported after a single treatment in a study of 45 patients. KTP laser is effective but associated with more pain than PDL and more risk of pigmentary changes in darker skin. IPL, or intense pulse light, also reported as effective. Argon laser, one of the earlier laser modalities used, and dual diode laser achieved 100% clearance of cherry angiomas after a single treatment in a study of 56 patients with Fitzpatrick skin types 1 to 3, which is pretty light. And your laser technician should know all the laser options and how their laser affects your skin type. Now, here's the interesting question. Could Afrin work? At first glance, it sounds brilliant. Afrin contains oxymetazoline. Its job is to shrink blood vessels inside your nose. That's why it helps you breathe when you're congested. So people naturally wonder, if it shrinks blood vessels in your nose, why wouldn't it shrink blood vessels in a cherry angioma? That's a pretty logical question. But cherry angiomas aren't simply enlarged blood vessels. They're actually an overgrowth of blood vessels. Think of weeds. Using Afrin would be like stepping on the weed. For a little while, it looks flatter, but the weed is still there. The roots haven't gone anywhere. Similarly, even if you temporarily reduced blood flow, the abnormal collection of blood vessels usually remain. That's why we don't recommend putting Afrin on cherry angiomas. There really aren't good studies showing that it reliably removes them. However, there is a prescription medication that does work on certain blood vessels. Why does timolol work? Here's where things get really interesting. Timolol is a beta blocker. We usually use that for blood pressure. Dermatologists sometimes use topical timolol for certain infantile hemangiomas, especially smaller superficial ones. At first, people thought it worked simply because it narrowed blood vessels, but researchers eventually realized it does much more. It appears to reduce signals that tell blood vessels to grow, including molecules like VEGF, which acts almost like fertilizer for new blood vessels. It may also encourage those abnormal blood vessel cells to gradually regress. So timolol isn't just squeezing the garden hose, it's actually turning down the sprinkler system that keeps feeding the garden. That's a much more powerful effect. It's one reason timolol has become an accepted treatment for selected infantile hemangiomas. What about Afrin? There have been a few published case reports where doctors tried topical oxymetazoline on superficial infantile hemangiomas. Some improvement was reported. That's interesting, but we're talking about a handful of patients, not large, high-quality clinical trials. Right now, the evidence simply isn't strong enough for it to become a standard treatment. It's an intriguing idea that researchers may continue to explore, but it's not something I recommend to patients to try on their own. Should you remove them? The answer depends. If they're not bothering you, they don't have to be removed. Many people simply leave them alone. If they're catching on clothing, bleeding after shaving, or you just don't like how they look, treatment is usually straightforward in a dermatology office. Cherry angiomas are one of those little reminders that our skin keeps changing throughout life. They're common. They're usually harmless. And fortunately, they're among the easier things we treat. As for Afrin, it sounds like one of those ideas that should work. And in medicine, those are often the most interesting questions. Sometimes our first instinct is right. Sometimes the biology turns out to be much more complicated. In this case, simply squeezing blood vessels isn't enough. You have to address the abnormal blood vessel growth itself. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. How many cherry angiomas do you have? Just one, or have they multiplied over the years? And if you like this video, you may want to learn more about another kind of common skin growth, so you'll want to watch that one next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.